there, folks. Welcome to the program. This, of course, is Stinchfield, the podcast. If you were traveling over the holidays, I hope you didn't get caught up in this American Airlines catastrophe of a total ground stop for an hour on Christmas Eve and then cancellations, not covered by the media, by the way, continued all the way through Christmas. What was going on here? I actually believe it was a cyber attack. And there are big reasons why I believe it was a cyber attack. You got the time of year, you got the industry, and you have the secrecy. Why the secrecy? We're going to go into all of that. Plus, President Trump at Turning Point, Elon Musk saying some big things about the economy, which I think may actually move the economy. Stephen Moore is with us today. So we have a very, very big show, including talking about the difference and similarities between those on the left who hate the establishment and those on the right who hate the establishment. That's an interesting little portion. But at first, I want to start talking about what I believe was a cyber attack by bad actors trying to hurt Americans on Christmas. Before we do that, though, I want to tell you about my friends over at Colonial Metals. Colonial Metals Group is the place to go for all your metals needs. When I talk about taking an existing 401k or IRA and moving it to a metals IRA or 401k, Colonial Metals can help you do that. They offer up a free gold guide, which is absolutely phenomenal. freegoldguide.com/grant. That's freegoldguide.com/grant. Look, folks, we just saw a continuing resolution passed through the House of Representatives. Is there any decrease in spending? No. Even with President Trump on the scene, there is not going to be a decrease in spending, which means the pressure on the U.S. dollar is very, very real. Not to mention, China is buying our bonds. We owe China money. Again, where's the safe haven for this? Gold. If you want to protect your portfolio, come with a portfolio protection maneuver, okay? And that's what gold is about. It's about protecting your existing portfolio. Colonial Metals Group can help you do it. freegoldguide.com/grant or call them at 800-458-7356. Were you victimized by American Airlines on New Year's Eve into Christmas Day, trying to either get to where you're going or trying to get home for Christmas, whatever it may be? You get caught up in this ground stop that happened Christmas Eve due to a technical glitch. And then cancellations continued all the way through Christmas, and they kept going. And American was very quiet about what was going on. I'm telling you, folks, my professional opinion, and all this is an opinion, is that it was a cyber attack, and they're not telling you that it was a cyber attack. You don't explain something to be a technical glitch and then not explain it. And that's what American did. They didn't explain to anybody. They just apologized, saying safety's our first priority. No information about when they'd get up and running. And it was about an hour later the ground stop was lifted. But they called it a technical issue. I believe it's a cyber attack. Here's why I believe it's a cyber attack. One, the timing of this. You think it's a coincidence that they have a full ground stop on Christmas Eve in the United States of America, probably one of the busiest travel days of the year, people trying to get home? It's not a coincidence. Not a chance. Then, the industry that was affected. We know that the airline industry deals with so many Americans. If you're going to disrupt Americans' lives, go after the airline industry, whether it's a terrorist attack, whether it's a cyber attack, whether it's flying planes into buildings. God forbid we never see that again. It was too crazy, and it kept going. And you know what was really nuts? The media gave them a pass on this. The media somehow said, oh, don't worry about it. No big deal. Well, we're just going to take their word for it, a technical glitch. No real details about what happens. We know during the holidays there is a heightened cybersecurity concern in every country. Airlines are prime targets. You had 40 million travelers over the course of the holiday week. And what this showed me was that this system is so fragile. Do you remember earlier in the year that Southwest Airlines ground stop that they too said was a human error, a software malfunction? They did the wrong update. Somebody pressed the wrong button. Hogwash. I am not buying it. Americans can be dumb. Americans can make mistakes. But you're not having somebody at Southwest push the wrong button and do a wrong update that shuts the entire system down. I just don't buy it. So I see that. Then I see the American Airlines shut down. And then lo and behold, I wake up this morning, and guess what? Japan Airlines admits a cyber attack had just hit them today, grounding flights in Japan and beyond, both domestic and international flights coming out of Japan. Japan Airlines says it was hit with a cyber attack, causing flight delays, and today they have now suspended ticket sales as they try to get this thing under control. So you're telling me Southwest earlier in the year, American Airlines on Christmas Eve, and now Japan Airlines the day after Christmas admits a cyber attack, one doesn't. I'm telling you, folks, this was a cyber attack. But it's only my assessment. It's only my best speculation because American Airlines is totally quiet. You had thousands of passengers stranded. My son's stepkids from his mother's remarriage. They were in an airport for 10 hours waiting for flights. 10 hours. How does that happen after a 1 hour ground stop? You would think your flight would be delayed 1 hour. Why does it have to make it a 10-hour delay? Who knows? This is all leads me to believe something else, something nefarious was at play here. And again, no one tells us the truth, not under this administration, and certainly in big business today, we're not being told the whole story. I think President Trump will change a lot of this. All we want as Americans is be honest with us. We know these systems are totally vulnerable, and it is frightening to think they're that vulnerable when you're 30,000 feet in the air, by the way. But they're vulnerable, and I think this was an example of that. My opinion. Folks, so you want to be in Bitcoin, but the wild swings, the volatility scares the crap out of you. I don't blame you. So you know what I've done? I get monthly returns now, literal cash flow, being in Bitcoin, but only in mining. So the secret to success when it comes to Bitcoin is in the mining. And this is what Get21Now.com does. It's a company called NFN8. I'm involved with them. I've already started getting my checks. This is institutionalized giant warehouses of these servers. This is an impressive operation. They've been doing this for a long time. I've vetted them. I've talked to them. I want you to talk to them too. I used to buy businesses, right? I'd have to deal with employees and angry customers and paying bills and all of the headaches that come along with that. Folks, I get 21% now on my money, paid monthly. This is cash flow, baby. And look, NASDAQ is already trading Bitcoin as a commodity. This is real stuff. The future is now. Get21now.com. You want to have cash flow, monthly payments, talk to these guys, all right? Talk to them. They've promised stuff to me, and they have lived up to every promise they have made to me. Get21now.com. Get21now.com. Pay them a visit today and tell them Grant Stinchfield sent you. Potential is unlimited. Here's his quote. This is what he declared on X. The fixed pie fallacy. Okay? The fixed pie fallacy is at the heart of much wrong-headed economic thinking. There is essentially an infinite potential for job and company creation. Think of all the things that didn't exist 20 or 30 years ago, Musk declared on a post on X. That's Elon Musk shooting down the scarcity mindset and suggesting that there's an unlimited potential for jobs. Is that true? Well, I want to bring in our chief economist here on the Morning Answer, one of the top advisors to President Trump, whether it's officially or unofficially. Who cares? He's right there, has the ear of the president. Stephen Moore is with us. Stephen, it is great to have you on the program.
Hey, Grant. Merry Christmas. Happy to be on the show. I hope you had a great one, and all your listeners did too. So, look, Elon Musk is 100% correct on this, that there are no real limits to growth, that we can soar above the rest of the world. By the way, our magnificent seven companies in the United States, and that includes Apple, Amazon, Google, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and others. They are worth more than all of the companies in the world outside of the United States. So we're so dominant, and it is true that we're facing this incredibly exciting future where, thanks to artificial intelligence and robotics and things like that. Now, the only thing I might quibble a little bit with Elon Musk about is that in the future, there will actually be fewer jobs because the jobs will be done by robots. And that means we will have more leisure time to do things we like to do, whether it's play golf or, go fishing or swimming. Or, it used to be people used to have to work 70 hours a week. Now, the average work week is about 36 hours a week. It might be lowered to 30 hours a week.
All right.
Because we have machines doing the work for us.
So that's a nice positive way to look at it. If when I owned my trucking company, if I could have had the trucks driving themselves, believe me, I would have loved it, right? I mean, but if you're a truck driver, I'm not sure you love that. I mean, yes, it's more leisure time maybe for the business owner, for the executives, but what about the everyday? I mean, there is a downside to this. Look at McDonald's. You can't go to a McDonald's in California without letting a screen take your order because they've made the minimum wage so high. They figured out ways to get computers to do that. What are those people going to do?
Grant, you're sounding like a Luddite. So, that's like saying, let me give you an example. 100 years ago, over almost a third of Americans were employed in agriculture. They were picking the fields, they were planting the crops, they were working in the hot sun, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day. Now we have tractors and farm machinery that does all that work for us. And so instead of 33% of all American workers growing food, now it's the agriculture industry is 3% of employment. Well, what does that mean? It means that it's freed up Americans to do other kind of work. And the kind of work that we're going to be doing is so much more interesting than, sitting in the hot sun. Same thing like, I remember when I was a kid and my parents just took me to Michigan and we went to Detroit and we went into these hot, sweaty factories, the steel factories and the auto factories. And I mean, my God, the working conditions were just miserable. And I remember thinking, I was about 11 years old, I sure don't want to have to work in one of these plants the rest of my life. And now if you go to the modern auto plants, it's a lot fewer workers. A lot of the machines are doing the work. So, yeah, this is called human progress, and it's going to be a really exciting thing. And nobody has brought the world more progress than Elon Musk.
So you raise a great point, right? Like, we have progress and things change and things get automated and then people get now. It's tough if you're one of those people because now you're figuring out, well, what am I going to do? And in reality, sometimes it has downside effects because the example that I gave of a computer taking your order, it probably screws up less than the person taking it. But as a business owner in a McDonald's, I might rather have a smiling face taking your order than I would a computer. But the left gave us no choice but to put a computer in there because they want you to pay so much.
That's a great point. No, that's a really good point with the $25 minimum wage and things like that. All that's doing is accelerating the automation, which in the long run is a good thing because automation just means, in the future, 100 years from now, it's hard to even imagine what kind of jobs people will be doing.
And AI, look. Dan, the phone man here. This is a while ago. They haven't done it in a while. They took my voice, Stephen Moore. They took my voice and had it doing a segment on this show. And it was am I out of a job?
You're obsolete. as long as the computers and the robots can't do economics, I'm just fine. You make a good point. It's exciting, but it's a little scary. You're right about what the life is going to be worth. 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. By the way, you used a very good example. I mean, I guarantee you in 25 years, there will not be very many truck drivers because, in fact, I was driving down the I-95 corridor not long ago. I saw a caravan of trucks, 5 long, like a train connected, and there was only one driver, and he was the guy in the first truck, and all the others were just almost like a train, almost like connected electronically to the first one. So my point is, this stuff is coming, and we got to be ready for it. But there aren't going to be a lot of truck drivers 25 years from now because it'll all be automated. There won't be. I mean, so many Americans are employed as Uber and Lyft drivers. There won't be Uber and Lyft drivers probably in 10 years. It'll all be. You'll get in the car and it's going to be automated. So anyway, that. People can decide for themselves whether they think that's a good or a bad thing. All I'm saying it is very wealth enhancing because we'll have so many, we will have so much time, on our hands.
So what do those people do? I guess that's going to be the big question. If you're driving an Uber, you're a truck driver, do you have to retrain yourself to do something else? I mean, it's just really hard to tell people that, even though it's progress.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm talking to the young people listening to your show, and I know you have a good young audience. Right. You probably shouldn't plan on being a truck driver. You should probably the jobs of the future will be using that most important muscle in your body, and that's the one between your 2 ears, your mind. And you have to be smart, and you have to be, efficient, and that's why education is so critical because. These jobs will require a lot of moxie and a lot of inventiveness and things.
I tell young people all the time, learning a skill is actually a great thing. And I mean,
absolutely.
whether you're an air conditioner installing, it's going to be really hard to have robots installing air conditioning units in homes. We're still going to need construction workers. You're still going to need people, plumbers, and all these things. And they make a very decent living. You don't have to go to college. My niece she's going to Syracuse. She's so excited to go to Syracuse. It's like $60,000 a year, and she's going to be some kind of a physical therapist. Now, I'm happy that her parents have the money to pay for that, but that doesn't make any sense.
Well, you know what one of the biggest leading employment jobs is? We're doing people working, developing computer games. That's a huge burgeoning industry.
Huge. And a skill, and it's going to take people with creative abilities. I'm not sure robots have creative ability yet. But, Stephen Moore, we're way out of time. Tell people where we can find you.
Oh, go to unleashprosperity.com. Get our hotline every morning. It is absolutely free. Some things in life still are free. And, Grant, have a happy New Year, and talk to you next week.
You too. I can't wait for a great year for you and for all of our listeners and for us and for President Trump. Thank you so much, Stephen Moore.
Rock and roll, and it's going to be the economy is going to boom.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you. All right. Does anybody notice a difference with me? I've lost now, yes, if you can believe it, 12 pounds in just 3.5 weeks on the Energized Health program. The secret is in the science, but it's also in the simplicity. I am not killing myself with workouts. Yes, I work out with weights, and I always had, but I've added in a very small workout to this program. Super easy. I have a diet plan now. I am never hungry. I don't feel like I'm struggling through this diet. It is super simple. And I'm getting myself hydrated. It is all about cellular hydration, and the results you can achieve are absolutely astonishing. And I'm telling you firsthand, folks, I got involved with them. They came to me and said, hey, we want you to try this out. I said, okay, I could tighten things up a little bit. And bing, bang, boom, I'm on track, man. And I credit energizedhealth.com/Grant, energizedhealth.com/Grant. There's coaching involved in this. There's recipes involved in this. The plan is all laid out for you. And again, it is super simple. This is life-changing, mind, body, soul. It's a total body transformation. God bless the folks at Energized Health who are helping me. energizedhealth.com/Grant. Check them out today. There's something I'm noticing between Democrats and Republicans, that there's a common theme among both parties. You're probably going to be saying, Stinchfield, what the heck are you talking about, a common theme? There's nothing similar between Democrats and Republicans. There actually is. What's growing is a hatred towards the establishment. Now, the Democrat establishment and the Republican establishment are much closer aligned than grassroots Democrats and grassroots Republicans. We would be what you would call on the fringe of our parties. Now, I believe that you're seeing Democrats push back against the establishment of their party. They're starting to despise people like Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer and embrace people like AOC and others who would fall more on the same side of us when you have like a Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz type. All right? Two total opposites, but both what? Despising the establishment, wanting change. Now, this is the difference now between those two factions of parties, the anti-establishment faction. Anti-establishment Republicans, call them Freedom Caucus Republicans, America First Republicans, have moved further right, but further right doesn't mean fringe. It just means more of an embrace of the Constitution, more of a literal view of how the Constitution was written and how we should follow it, which then means it's more of limited government, not having government telling us what to do. The left, on the other hand, their push to the left is a hatred towards the Constitution, wanting more government, having government tell you what to do. It's the complete opposite. Either way, though, both of us are now despising what? Crony capitalism, backroom deals, pay-to-play nonsense, profiting off the American people, using your inside information. That we can agree on, right? And it's important that we realize this. That's one area that we can agree on. Nothing else, fine, let's embrace it. So when the left wants to tell you that Republicans have pushed further to the right and become more fringe, it's not more fringe. The right has simply re-engaged with our founding fathers' vision. We actually have the original vision of the Republican Party. And that, of course, is a limited government vision, more freedom, less tyranny. It really is that simple. And the left is the complete opposite. So, speaking of Turning Point USA, this Cenk Younger, however you say his name, the Young Turks, went on with Charlie Kirk. And he was talking about some of the differences he sees. Now, he's a liberal. I've gotten into it with this guy on many, many occasions. But listen to him because I think he somewhat misses the point in this clip.
I knew you guys were for real in fighting against the establishment when I started going on right-wing shows and I would say something negative about Mitch McConnell. And when I did that in the past, what I would get back is, oh, no, Mitch McConnell's great. Pelosi's terrible, but Mitch McConnell's great.
So, first off, no, you didn't. The Tea Party version of the Republican Party, which is now the America First version of the Republican Party, was in play since 2010, 2011. You're not that old to be going in front of these groups, Cenk Younger. And going back to the Tea Party, none of us ever thought Mitch McConnell was great. So it might play well to this crowd of young people who were probably 2 years old when they were, no, not 2, but maybe 12 when the Tea Party movement first started. But we always despised Mitch McConnell. But I get what you're saying, and I guess where you're going. Here's how you know he's a liberal. When I went on right-wing shows, I hate when Republicans use the term right-winger. Now, I wear the moniker as a right-winger as a badge of honor. I wear it proudly. You can call me a right-winger if you think right-wing just believes in the Constitution, limited government, and less tyranny. If that's what being right-wing is, then fine, I'm a right-winger. But it's not. It's a founder's vision. Those in the Republican Party that embrace the founder's vision is a much better way than saying right-winger. Just goes to show you he's a liberal.
Let's do that here. What do you guys think of Mitch McConnell?
All right. Yes, I love that. So, look, for my left-wing friends that are watching out there, they just booed Mitch McConnell. That's a great thing, okay? And let's do one more. What do you guys think about Dick Cheney? My left-wing friends out there, we have been waiting for the right-wing populists to boo Mitch McConnell and Dick Cheney our whole lives. Take the win. Take the win.
Yeah, take the win, but reality is he's kind of lying to the crowd there, because the left over the last year embraced Dick Cheney. They embraced Liz Cheney. See, Cenk Younger does not understand that crowd. When he brings up the name of Cheney, everybody's thinking Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney's daughter, who they despise. Dick Cheney comes out and endorses Kamala Harris, is praised a hero by those on the left. And I can tell you, he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand it. Now, I still give him credit for coming to a Turning Point USA conference. And he was greeted graciously for the most part. Let's listen to more.
Now, what we need to do in the Democratic Party is we need to do likewise. We need to have a revolt against the Joe Bidens, the Kamala Harrises, and the Nancy Pelosi's. And the Hillary Clintons, and now all of a sudden the Dick Cheneys.
But you know what's interesting? The crowd cheers there that they need to have a revolt. The crowd cheers. Why is the crowd cheering when what he wants is a revolt against Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, and he wants an embrace of the Ilhan Omars and the AOCs? That's not who you want the Democrat Party embracing. How about the Democrat Party embrace a guy like Joe Manchin, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk? Even though I don't think Tulsi and even Manchin are full-on hardcore conservatives. But they're headed in the right direction. Far better than AOC and the best of the bunch. Well, folks, I want to tell you about Patriot Mobile. You know, I have a Patriot Mobile phone. I'm so happy with it. Patriot Mobile is all about supporting the programs, causes, charities that believe in the things we believe in. Why would you be giving money to the big three woke cell phone companies that literally practice DEI policies inside their corporate structure? They literally fund places like Planned Parenthood, when you could be with Patriot Mobile, that's supporting our veterans, that's protecting our gun rights, that is literally taking the fight when it comes to free speech to the left, putting "In God We Trust" signs in schools, and for this, the media comes after them so hard. Patriot Mobile, I urge you to get a Patriot Mobile phone. Hey, I got a Patriot One plan, one phone, two lines, two different networks. So in an emergency, one network's down, I got it covered. PatriotMobile.com/grant. PatriotMobile.com/grant. That's where I want you to go. Use the promo code GRANT for a free month service, and I promise you, you are not going to regret it. You can call them at 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, and you tell them Grant Stinchfield sent you. All right, folks, I want to get to oddball news in a moment. The boys behind the glass on this Christmas week should have some great stories for us. I've got a couple as well. But before we get to oddball news, I want to go out to one of our all-time favorite callers. Brent in L.A. is on the phone. Brent, what say you?
A miraculous MAGA Christmas and Hanukkah, Golden Grant.
Merry Christmas to you, Brent.
And with the miraculous rescue, rebuilding, and resurrection of Notre Dame in Paris, I pray this year all authentic Catholics, Christians, and Jews will again start to make true moral, ethical religiosity great, glorious, and godly again, and that all righteous Catholics like Archbishop Vigano and our gallant Sebastian Gorka will virtuously excommunicate and toss phony, killer communist Catholics like Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and evil Pope Francis onto the devil's dung heap of history.
So, you know, I was baptized a Catholic. I don't really go to Catholic church anymore unless it's some kind of an event, but I prefer my other churches that I go to and frequent. I noticed you said authentic Christians and Jews. What are the inauthentic?
The ones who act and pose and pretend to be godly when they really are Satanists.
Well, I know a few of those out there for sure. Brent, always great talking to you. Thank you, my friend.
Bless ya.
Absolutely, you too. I would like to think I'm an authentic Christian. I spent a few hours praying the other night, literally a few hours doing this, middle of the night praying. And I think, I know there is something to prayer 100%. One thing I don't believe, though, is I don't believe you have to go to church or a synagogue in order to pray to God. I don't believe that's where it has to take place. Some people may disagree with me. I don't know. That's fine. That's a free country. But, everybody practices in their own way. The key is to be committed to the teachings. It really is. All right, folks, 855-785-8255. I don't know why I'm giving out the number because I'm probably not going to take your phone call because it is oddball news right now. Unless you got a great oddball news story, why not? I'd take it. Should we start oddball news, Dan? Let's roll it.
It's oddball news.
All right, I'll start off, okay, boys? Remember the movie Alligator? I think it was the New York City subway system. There's a giant alligator living like in the sewers and the subways. Well, there's jaw-dropping video that I have seen that they captured in Oviedo, Florida. Proves the New York City urban legend was really a Sunshine State reality after discovering a 5-foot alligator in a sludge-filled sewer pipe. And it's pretty amazing. The camera's like chasing the alligator down inside this sewage pipe. I think it's a robotic camera, but it's gross. The water's gross. The alligator's splashing the camera. It's disgusting. But anyway, alligators in the sewer. Imagine it comes up through your toilet. That would not be fun. Dan, the phone man, do you have one?
I do, Grant. So our friends, I say that jokingly, Liquid Death, the company that makes the water and the products with all the real edgy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they make coffee too or no?
I don't think so yet, but I'm sure they will have some sort of edgy coffee in a few years or something like that. They have unveiled something new they're calling the pit diaper, which is if you're a concert goer, you can now use the restroom without...
That's disgusting.
It's true. Customers can strap on the embellished black pleather, that's fake leather diaper, which is low-rise, one-fits-all with an adjustable hip and waist circumference. It combines functional rock and roll aesthetic, features a metal key clip, a spike, a chain, a belt with a gold embroidered skull on the front, and a pack of 32 Depends guards to lock in moisture.
All right, so hold on. It's basically leather underwear that rockers might wear with a Depends inside.
That's right. So if you go to a concert and you don't want to miss anything, you can now use the pit diaper. They've sold out.
And they've sold out. I thought it was going to be some kind of holder that, you pee into or something. But no, just Depends. People are idiots. Josh Jacobs, you have a story for us?
Josh Jacobs is a popular guy.
I actually got two stories. Back in the 1980s, KFC had the slogan, you wouldn't go to a Chinese place for tacos, an Italian place for egg rolls, so why go to a burger place for chicken nuggets? Well, KFC is also owned by the same company that owns Taco Bell, and Taco Bell is breaking that rule because they're adding chicken nuggets to their menu nationwide for a limited time.
So, wait, hold on a second. So Taco Bell is adding chicken nuggets. And you say Taco Bell is owned by McDonald's?
No, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Okay, so McDonald's doesn't own the chicken nugget name, I guess, huh?
No, just McNuggets, not nuggets.
Oh, McNuggets. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And speaking of lunch, after 42 years, a young lady named Tracy Drain's fourth grade Heathcliff lunchbox was returned. Now, when she first got it, she originally wanted a Garfield lunchbox, but her mother mistook Heathcliff for Garfield.
Oh, boy.
So a plumber recently discovered this lunchbox perfectly preserved between the walls of Fairview Elementary School in Roanoke, Virginia. Inside it had her name etched so they knew who it was, and within less than a day, Tracy was located and she was given back her lunchbox, including the thermos, and she said it still smelled like hot chocolate that she drank every day.
That's disgusting. Even the fact that she wanted to smell it is disgusting in and of itself.
It is.
Amazing. Josh Jacobs, this fabulous work today. All right. We got Radar, who's been working the board over there on our Rumble channel, which, by the way, you can check us out on Rumble anytime. Radar, what do you got?
So I got a quick one for you. So in the baseball world, I found out that there are actually two Max Muncies. You have Max Muncy, who plays for the Dodgers, and you have another Max Muncy, who plays for the Athletics. Both their birthdays are August 25th, and both of them played for the Oakland A's.
No. No. So you have two Max Muncies.
Yes, sir.
That's unbelievable.
With the same birthday, yeah.
With the same birthday. What are the chances of that?
Right.
Well, 1 in 365 is the chance of the same birthday, but the same name too? I wouldn't even want to try to figure it out. Here's one. The owner of a UK-only DVD rental store. DVD rentals is booming after 40 years. He's still in business. How is this possible? TVL All-Star Video in Haverhill, Suffolk. Opened in 1984. This is nuts. Anyway, he's still renting DVDs out, even with Netflix and all that. God bless him, man. And the membership is $2.50 a week for a membership to the store. All you can rent DVDs. Anyway, it's good stuff. Hey, Merry Christmas to all you guys behind the glass. Thank you. Dan, Radar, Josh Jacobs, Jen Horn. She's not here today. And God bless all of you, and Merry Christmas to you, too. See you tomorrow.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work. Try to see a doctor this week or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Order online fast and save $45. Your kit with prescriptions to treat common and life-saving illnesses is rushed to your door. Visit twc.health/grant. Promo code GRANT. That's twc.health/grant. Promo code GRANT.